Hi students, I welcome you all for today's English Madhu App class. Today we are going to discuss a beautiful story of your 10th class English book from non-detailed site. Students, before going to start the topic, let me tell you a beautiful story. But it is not a story, it is a real story. And after listening the story, I will ask you some questions. By showing this picture, you have to point out about whom or who is that great person about whom I was telling the story. So students, the story was, once there was a great person who was very smart and intelligent. Once he went to Chicago town of America. And at Chicago town, he found a beautiful library with full of large volumes of beautiful books. As he was very interested in reading the books, so he went near the librarian and asked some books, large volumes of books. He took all the books to his home where he was staying, and in the next day, he returned all the books to the librarian. And he was doing this work repeatedly for 2 to 3 days. So seeing all this, the librarian asked the person, "Why are you taking all these books? As if you don't have an interest to read the books, or if you are unable to read these books, so why are you taking all these books?" But that great person told, "If you wanted to know the reason, then you can ask me some questions from those books which I have written to you." So the librarian took a book, opened the page and asked some questions. My dear students, from your surprise, that great person answered all the questions with page number, sentence and paragraph. So the librarian got surprised. Yes. And in later, the librarian discovered that that great person has photographic memory. Photographic memory means by using his eyes and mind, he could capture the image, the sentence, the lines of the books. And whenever he wanted, he could recollect all these things. He could recall all these things or all the line or all the pages. So who was that great person? Who was that genius? I know some of you guessed. Yes. Now students, look at this image. There are the pictures of some great saints of our India. So this is the image of our Guru Nanak. And this is the image of what? Sri Chaitanya, who spread the Bhakti Dharma. Next, that is the image of the great Guru, the great saint Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And this side, this is the image of your Gautam Buddha, who propagated the Buddhism. And this is the image of your Jainism, that is the Mahavir Jain. And the last image, yes, who was that great person? That was the Swami Vivekananda. I think in your Odia books, in your lower classes, you have read a chapter, Vishwa Vijay Swami Vivekananda. Yes. So students, whom that person, who was that person about whom the story I was telling? Yes, that intelligent, that genius person was our Swami Vivekananda. Yes. So today we will read the topic which was a speech or which was delivered by a great philosopher, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the great teacher and philosopher, speaks about a great son on his 92nd birthday. On his 92nd birthday, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan born on 5th September 1888 at Tirutani, Madras Presidency, British India. At the time of Britishers, he took his birth at Tirutani, Madras Presidency and died on 17th April 1975, Madras, Tamil Nadu, independent India. He served as the first Vice President of India from 13th May 1952 to 12th May 1962, and he was second President of India from 13th May 1962 to 13th May 1967. And students, you are observing in the schools the Teachers' Day, and that was the birth date of our Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. So, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan gave a beautiful speech about Swami Vivekananda, and that speech was in your textbook, and the name of that topic was A Great Son of India. This chapter was a speech which was delivered by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan on Swami Vivekananda, on the life and teachings of Swami Vivekananda. So students, now let us discuss what are the teachings or what are the new things, new thoughts that are taught by Vivekananda. Okay, now I will take your 4 paragraphs, paragraph 1, 2, 3 and 4. I will take the model reading. You just listen me carefully and open your books. So students, Swami Vivekananda, who was a great philosopher, who is called as a saint of India, born on 12th January 1863 on the eve of Makar Sankranti in Kolkata. His childhood name was Naren. You have already taught this name, Naren. His father name was Vishwanath Datta, mother was Bhubaneswari Devi, and the master or his guru. Who is the guru? His guru is the Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Okay students, now we will go for the model reading. You just listen me carefully, and while I am taking the reading, you just look at your books. So paragraph 1, I am happy to be here and distribute prize for recitation and speech competitions. I congratulate those who have won these rewards on their achievements. The students who won the prize and the many others who competed for them had the great opportunity of reading some of the writings of Swami Vivekananda. I have no doubt they have been impressed and inspired by what they have read. Vivekananda's life and teachings have prepared us for the new age of freedom in which we live. They tell us how best we can consolidate the freedom we have recently won. He was one of the great leaders of the Indian Renaissance. So students, this is your first paragraph. Now, second paragraph, like all the great teachers of India, Vivekananda did not profess to be the formulator of a new system of thought. He interpreted for us in the world India's religious consciousness, the treasures of her past. His writings and speech are all fortified by quotations from the Indian scriptures and the life and sayings of his great master, the transcendent religious genius, Sri Ramakrishna. Third paragraph, in the short time at my disposal, it will not be possible for me to speak on more than one or two aspects of Vivekananda's teaching. And the fourth paragraph, the two dominant features of our age are science and democracy. They have come to stay. They have come to say, yes, students, they have come to say, it is your say. They have come to say. We cannot ask educated people to accept the deliverance of faith without rational evidence. Whatever we are called upon to accept must be justified and supported by reason. Otherwise, our religious beliefs will be reduced to wishful thinking. Modern man must learn to live with a religion which commends itself to his intellectual conscience, to the spirit of science. Besides, religion should be sustaining faith of democracy or race. Any religion which divides men from men or supports privileges, exploitation, wars cannot commend itself to us today. So students, these are the 4 paragraphs which we will take the model reading. Now we will go for some unfamiliar words. In these 4 paragraphs, there are some unfamiliar words. Now let us come to know the meanings of those unfamiliar words. First one, that is consolidate. Consolidate means to make strong or to make strengthen. Next, renancer. Renancer means reawakening, or we can say rebirth of art and culture. Then profess. Profess means to claim. Then formulator. Formulator means one who formulates something new ideas or something new thoughts. Interpret. Interpret means explain. Fortify. Fortify means make strong, or we can say make strengthen. Scriptures, the sacred writings of a religion. The sacred writings of a religion, or we can say the holy books. As in our Hindu religion, there are so many sacred books. Yes, tell me the names of the sacred books. Very good. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Gita, the Upanishads, these are the sacred books of Hindu religion. Next, transcendent. Transcendent means beyond the human experience. Beyond the human experience means at a best level. At a best level. Next, disposal. Disposal means removal. Aspect. Aspect means feature. Aspect, feature. Deliverance, the act of delivering something. The act of delivering something. As I told, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was delivering the speech about Swami Vivekananda. The act of delivering something. Next, rational. Rational means based on clear reason, or there should be some clear justification. Wishful means totally unrealistic hope. Unrealistic hope. Comments, presents as suitable, or presents as right. Next, intellectual, the ability to think logical way. Logical means this is the with clear reason, with some scientific reason. Exploitation means ill treatment, or we can say misuse. So students, these are the unfamiliar words of your paragraph 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we will go again to the paragraphs and we will understand clearly what is those paragraphs are telling about us. So students, this is your first paragraph. Now let me explain you. I am happy to be here and distribute prize for recitation and speech competitions. So students, here I refers to the speaker. Here I refers to the speaker. So students, as I have told you, this is a speech delivered by whom? Delivered by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. So students, here I refers to the speaker, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Okay, I am happy to be here and distribute prize for recitation and speech competitions. So students, there was a speech competitions, and for that competition, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was invited. He was invited to that competition. For what purpose? To distribute prize for the participants. I congratulate those who have won these rewards on their achievements, and the participants had won the prizes. And Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was congratulating them who had won the prizes. The students who won the prize and the many others who competed for them had the great opportunity of reading some of the writings of Swami Vivekananda. So according to Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the students or the participants who have participated in the competitions, they had the chance of to read the writings of Swami Vivekananda. What was their opportunity, or what opportunity they got? They got the opportunity of reading the writings of Swami Vivekananda. I have no doubt they have been impressed and inspired by what they have read. As they have read the writings of Vivekananda, so definitely they are impressed. They had been impressed or inspired by what they have read. Vivekananda's life and teachings have prepared us for the new age of freedom in which we live. So Vivekananda's life and teachings have prepared us for the new age of freedom in which we live. So students, as Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan wants to tell that Vivekananda's life and teaching had prepared us for what? To live in the new age of freedom. To live in the new age of freedom. Next, they tell us how best we can consolidate the freedom we have recently won. Not only to live in that freedom, but also we have to combine, we have to strengthen, or we have to make that freedom strong. We have to make that freedom strong. And how we can make that freedom strong? By the life and teachings of Swami Vivekananda. Next, he was one of the great leaders of the Indian Renaissance. Who was the great leader of the Indian Renaissance? Yes, he was one of the great leaders of the Indian Renaissance. So, my dear students, here is a word Renaissance. What is the meaning of Renaissance? Renaissance means, as I have told you in the meanings, re-awakening in the art and culture. So there is some social reformation. Take for example from the history side, you have already learned the chapter that is about Raja Rammohn Rai. Yes, Raja Rammohn Rai, who was known as the father of the Indian Renaissance. And why he is known as the father of Indian Renaissance? Because he had brought a new chance or a big chance in the society. Just like the early marriage and the Satidaha Pratha. He tried a lot to abolish these bad reforms like Satidaha Pratha and the early child marriage. So this is the example of some Renaissance. Likewise, Vivekananda also took a variety of steps in the Hinduism period to bring some Renaissance. Okay students, now we will go for the next paragraph. Second paragraph. Like all the great teachers of India, Vivekananda did not profess to be the formulator of a new system of thought. So my dear students, in the second paragraph, like all the great teachers of India, Vivekananda did not formulate any new thought. So what did he do? Rather, he interpreted for us and the world India's religious consciousness, and which was the treasure of her past. So students, here Vivekananda explained. What did he explain? He explained the religious consciousness. Means what is the real aim of India about Indian religion. And Vivekananda explained not only to us but also to the whole world. And in order to spread this, or in order to give this religious consciousness to the whole world, once Vivekananda went to the World Parliament of Religion to the America. And there he delivered the world famous speech. So, religious consciousness, that was the treasure of her past. Here, her refers to our motherland India. And what was the treasure of India? That was his religion, her religion, truth, non-violence and peace. So these are the treasure of our beloved motherland India. Next, his writings and speech are all fortified by quotations from the Indian scriptures and the life and sayings of his great master, the transcendent religious genius Sri Ramakrishna. So my dear students, here whatever the teachings or whatever the words or whatever the writings of Vivekananda, those were all fortified by quotations from the Indian scriptures. What are the Indian scriptures? All types of Purans, Vedas and the holy books. So he make his writings strengthen or the strong by the quotations of the Indian scriptures and the life and sayings of his great master, that transcendent means beyond the human experience, or his guru or his master Ramakrishna Paramahansa. So students, here in these lines, the writings of Vivekananda was fortified by the sayings of his master Ramakrishna Paramahansa and from the scriptures of Indian scriptures. Okay? Next, in the short time at my disposal, it will not be possible for me to speak on more than one or two aspects of Vivekananda's teaching. In the short time at my disposal, here my disposal means the disposal of or the speech of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. As he was delivering his speech for a limited time, so for that limited time, it is not possible for his side to speak more than one or two aspects of Vivekananda's teaching. Okay? Next, the two dominant features of our age are science and democracy. What are the two prominent features? The prominent features of our age are science and democracy. They have come to say, here this is, I have told you say. Read it, say. We cannot ask educated people to accept the deliverance of faith without rational evidence. So students, we cannot ask any educated person to receive any evidence or any belief without any reason or without any justification. We also and you all are also don't receive anything blindly. Try to receive anything or each and everything with justification or with real reasons. Whatever we are called upon to accept must be justified. Yes, whatever we are called upon to accept with justification and supported by reason. As I have told you, we have to receive all things with reason and justification. Otherwise, our religious beliefs will be reduced to wishful thinking. What is wishful thinking? That all these religious beliefs will be turned to unrealistic hope. Next, modern man must learn to live with a religion which commends itself to his intellectual conscience, to the spirit of science. So students, here modern man must learn to live with a religion. He must live in the religion, and that religion must be correlated with intellectual conscience and the spirit of science. What is intellectual conscience? As I have told you, to receive each and everything with reason and justification. That is to receive in a logical way. To receive each and everything with logical way, that is known as the intellectual conscience. And to the spirit of science, as you know, science means with all proof, with all reason and with all justification. Okay? Besides, religion should be sustaining faith of democracy or race. So religion should be sustaining faith of democracy, as democracy means freeness for all. So there should be no barrier in religion, and this is the main principle of our Indian religion, which Vivekananda propagated all over the world. Any religion which divides man from man. Yes, dear students, look at these lines. Religion which divides man from man or supports privileges, exploitation, wars, cannot commend itself. That is not religion. The religion which supports all these things, wars, exploitation, privileges, that is not the religion. Okay. So students, these are the discussions which we have discussed about paragraph 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now let us go for the test. Okay, so before going to take the test, now I will show you some outlines or what are the highlight points of these 4 paragraphs. First one, the great son of India. This is a speech which was delivered by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Second, he delivered this speech on 92nd birthday of Swami Vivekananda. The students have the great opportunity of writings of Swami Vivekananda. Next, life and teachings of Swami Vivekananda prepared us for the new age of freedom. The treasures of India's past are ideals of religion, truth and non-violence. Next points, Vivekananda collected the treasure from Indian scriptures and saying of his great master Ramakrishna Paramahansa. The 2 dominant features of our age are science and democracy. A modern man should learn to live with a religion which coordinates intellectual conscience and spiritual science. A religion approves itself with intellectual conscience and spirit of science. Religion should maintain faith of democracy. So students, these are the highlight points which we have discussed in the 4 paragraphs. Now let us be ready for the test. Answer in a word or in a phrase. Question number 1. Who is the speaker of the lesson A Great Son of India? Very easy question students. Who is the speaker? Very good. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Students, next question. On what occasion does he speak? Very good. On 92nd birthday of Vivekananda. Okay, question number 3. What I prepared us for the new age of freedom? Yes, life and teachings of Vivekananda. Question number 4. What does the treasure of her refers to modern India past refer to? Yes, very good. Religious consciousness. Religious consciousness. Okay. Question number 5. Where from did Vivekananda collect the treasure? Yes, very good. From scriptures and from the sayings of his guru or master. Who is the master? Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Okay. Now we will move towards the next questions. Question number 6. What are the 2 dominant features of our age? Very good. Science and democracy. Science and democracy. Okay. Question number 7. Who was the great master of Vivekananda? Yes. The great master of Vivekananda was Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Okay. Question number 8. Modern men should learn to live with a religion which coordinates what? Intellectual conscience. Intellectual conscience and spirit of science. Spirit of science. Question number 9. What does a religion approve itself? Yes, tell me. What does a religion approve itself? The religion approve itself the faith of democracy. Faith of democracy. The last question. Religion should maintain. Very good. The same answer. The religion should maintain the faith of democracy. So students, and finally we will read the one quotation of Vivekananda. Yes, what was that quotation? Believe in yourself and the world will be at your feet. This was the great saying of Vivekananda. So students, this is all about the beautiful topic, a great son of India, and in our next classes we will discuss the other paragraphs. So students, thank you for today. Tata.